Lost Boys of Sudan. Whose program choice was that?
Back last year, we had two people that used to come to the church. Their names were Anne Marie and Jerry DeLucio, and they used to go to the church, but then they moved to Rochester, New York.
Okay.
And they actually took some of the Lost Boys in. So as part of the Millennium Development Goal Day, we have that every year at our church.
Mm-hmm.
They brought the Lost Boys in, and they had them speak at our church, and they were involved also in the actual church service.
Oh, fabulous!
Yeah.
Fabulous. Now, you're all 10th and 11th graders.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So how many years does the in total does the YAC program take place?
6.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should suggest something like that in my synagogue. After 12 and a half and 13, they think they're out of there. It sounds like a really good program.
It is.
What other subjects in the program itself do you explore? Maggie, you want to talk to that?
Each of us were given just different topics to really talk about. I know that, like, my group, we did discernment, and, you know, everyone just talks about different topics
Mm-hmm.
to discuss.
Discernment. Can you tell us a little bit about
Um,
That's a big word.
Yeah. Discernment was really mainly about the choices you make and kind of keeping your choices true to yourself and keeping in mind, you know, God with us and
Making the
trying to
right
help
choices,
out.
right?
Yeah.
It's fabulous. You know, because the human being is made in the image, and, you know, I'm Jewish, you're Christian, and we have a lot of common beliefs. And the human being is made in the image of God. The human being is holy. Look at what a human being can do. A symphony orchestra, a skyscraper. You know, look what we're able to do. We're creative, highly, immensely creative beings like the Creator. So in the Genesis it says God breathed the breath of life into man. And so we have the Spirit of God in us. And that a genocide takes place that has no regard to the sanctity of a human being, to young people, any age, you know, families that love each other, and we see these kids over here in these little clips. They're like you and I, and their life is as important to them as our lives are to ourselves, and yet people came down and burned their villages as if they were not holy and weren't valuable and precious in the eyes of God. So yeah, discernment, being able to discern between, you know, what is right and what's wrong, and understand that each and every one of us is a precious creature and creation. So yeah, we there's a lot, you know, a lot of people come to our synagogue, and I have an opportunity to speak to them, you know, from the churches and stuff. We had a lot of 9th graders this year, and it's always fascinating. You guys are always welcome to you know, visit us at Adat Israel. You know, if you we would welcome you and put on a you know, a special program for you as, you know, our visitors, to you know, build this nice connection between your church, the Trinity Church. You know, I'm involved with all the other clergy in town. Father Bob, everybody knows Father Bob.
Yeah.
And I know your pastor, you know, Kathy Adam Shepherd. I've seen her a number of times. And one of the nice things in Newtown and the surrounding areas is that the clergy really get along great. And, you know, we really do like each other. We like and respect each other a lot. So I encourage, you know, your church, Trinity Church, to you know, continue with the kind of bridge that we're building, so that we can, you know, join forces when there's something of importance in the community like this. So once again, let's talk about the events that are going to take place on the 29th and 30th. We can't say it enough. There's going to be a Walk of Hope in Fairfield Hills at 6 p.m. And we want everybody to come on out and be there. We could walk a few, you know, miles to replicate a little bit of the 1,000 miles that these youngsters walk to save their lives. And we need to raise some money for them, build that well in the Sudan so that they have some clean water to drink, not muddy water, clean water to drink. And let's see what else we could talk. Oh, let's put the, for further information, have a look at this website over here that's going to come across the screen. And the telephone number is there as well. Go on that website and get involved. Okay, it's this. We've been doing this programming for several years now, and I'm very sorry to say that the genocide has not stopped in the Sudan. And we need to all wake up, because part of being a global village, part of having the internet and having all this knowledge about the goings-on throughout the world is a responsibility. We cannot sit here in Newtown, in the comfort of our homes, and forget these people in the Sudan. It's a horror there, and we must help. We must build wells, we must send food, we must send money, and we must continue with the advocacy. As I mentioned in the beginning of the program, it was young people that caused the state of Connecticut to divest from the Sudanese government pending the end of the, really the Holocaust, or the genocide. How many people have died and have been killed or murdered or starved to death or worked to death since the beginning of this genocide? Who could speak to that?
There's been 2 million people that have died and 4 million that have been forced out of their homes.
2 million. 2 million people have been killed in this genocide so far. It's like a genocide in slow motion, and it must stop. Again, we're running out of time. We're here with Jackie Houlihan, Elise Benedict, Ellen Tabler, Anna Chamiec-Pauneto, and Maggie Houlihan. I thank you all for being here on Rabbi Rock and doing your part to letting people know that there still is, unfortunately, a genocide in the Sudan. And thank you, and shalom and blessings to each and every one of you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Close your eyes and forget the